going on, everybody? Welcome to Empire Sports One, where the North American Empire's premier state-sponsored media, sports show. I'm on here tonight with my most excellent co-host, Mr. Julian Bernick.
Hello.
Julian couldn't be more excited than to have you on here tonight. And let me jump in the chat room here. And thanks so much for coming here and for showing up. This is awesome. So I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute because I've been talking about me and XCrawl for a while. So Julian, how far back do you go with XCrawl? What's your early memories of it?
Well, I think it goes back to let's see here. I believe it goes back to, people have heard this story many times. I met Brendan at my first ever Gen Con in the cab from the airport to the con. And then without telling that whole story again, I got to know him. And then, of course, who wouldn't want to hang out with Brendan multiple times after that? So sooner or later after that, I don't think it was that year, but like next year and the next year, we played XCrawl Pathfinder version.
Yeah.
And it was, I can't remember the adventure, maybe Vegas. Is there a Vegas? There's a Vegas, right?
Yeah, it might have been Vegas. That was a legit one, and one that I ran a lot of times at.
It was the one with the dice golem.
No, that's actually doesn't have a city. That one is I think that they finally changed the name to it's the Mayhem one. It's like
okay.
Mayhem in the Dungeon or XCrawl. I don't know.
Right.
But yes, the dice column. With the dice column.
So I go that far back because that was my first exposure. And, I was like, I was just blown away. Had a blast. That was a lot of fun. And then, so that was always in my wheelhouse. And I was like, hey, this is pretty cool and pretty fun and, all that. But then I was like, I'm not going to mess around with Pathfinder too much. It's not really my cup of tea. But then later on, when the XCrawl stuff came out, the first one I ever ran, I jumped onto that stuff, and then I ran Dungeon Battle Brooklyn.
Nice.
And I ran that a bunch of times. It's so fun. That silly obstacle course room in there is just, it cracks everybody up over and over again.
Yeah.
But the real claim to fame is I got to kill Bob Brinkman in it when I ran it at Gamehole Con. And you could
cap.
Right. And and you could say he got the last laugh because he killed me in adventures over and over and over and over again for the next like 6 years or whatever it was. But still.
Still though, man, that's fantastic. And thanks so much. Yeah, I still love Dungeon Battle Brooklyn. I think it's a really fun adventure. And that obstacle course in the beginning, to me, like I run that and I can actually smell like high school gymnasium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see it going on there, playing over the basketball court,
It's a really good con session game.
Yeah.
It's you maybe have to cut one encounter to make it all fit, depending on how, how expert your players are. If they're really solid DCC players, it might fly faster than that. But it really fits pretty good into 4 hours.
Thanks. It's one of the things that I really try to do a lot of. I think this was the beginning of that. Well, that's not true, but like the idea of like think about what the monster abilities would be like in real world and all. So to me, that led to the Medusa ball. So if you could try that one at the end, the last encounter, you had to fight a Medusa in this ball, this maze. So she's in it like a hamster ball, and she's kind of like coming at you. So she could turn into stone, but you can't get at her. And it's ridiculous. And there's a piece of art for it that is just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in a dungeon thing. So obviously, I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, that's a classic. And then I ran Boston Crawl a few times and did some play testing on what's the one with the slime? You can't do that on XCrawl, right? Yeah.
This is a weird thing. I don't know if that's been published or not. Like it feels like it should be. Like I've got like development notes, but where is it? Is it like a has that showed up someplace?
Well,
I don't know that that's been published. I think that we wrote that and it just never.
Don't tell Joseph I'm publishing it next year.
We're gonna quietly move it to third party. Hey, thanks for the editing pass. But here we go.
I'm calling it XCrawl. It's
XCrawl is the wish.com version. It's it's pretty good. Well, now you are now officially one of the XCrawl authors. You've now done an adventure, the crawl formerly known as Terra on the Tundra, which I think is amazing, and I'm so excited for it. And tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about your inspiration and everything for that one.
Well, I was running those adventures, and I feel like there's another one. Oh, I ran a different one too. I ran the 5th level one, which is crazy, with the rooftop one and the elevator. And Detroit. Crawl.
Yeah. I love that. Anyway. That's one of my absolute favorite adventures to run. I love running that one.
It is, and it's so messed up. Those encounters are really intricate. They're really fun. Anyway, but the Terra on the Tundra, well, it's because I was running a bunch of those adventures, having a blast, and then I said to Brandon, because I like to make demands for that I don't really, have no right to, as usual. I said, if you don't ever do a Minneapolis one, and at least don't give it to anybody else. Like if you're going to do it, give it to me. If you're not going to do it, and you don't want me to do any XCrawl, and whatever, heck with you. But still, but if you do Minneapolis, it has to be me. So when you or Joseph approached me on it, I said, guys, come on, I got to do Minneapolis, and you guys were good with it. So I got to put a lot of local color in there. There's, snow and ice. More snow and ice.
There's a ton, and my only request, I was like, well, you can do Minneapolis definitely with it, but there has to be some kind of Prince reference in there.
Oh yeah,
and boom in the title. So
yeah.
Thanks very much. I couldn't be more excited about that.
We like our seasons, so there's kind of a seasonal weather theme. We have snow and ice, but when I walked home from work today, it was also 90 degrees and just blazing hot out. So we get everything. So we got that stuff. We got fishing. We got we got everything. So I'm pretty happy with that. I just had a blast, as well as I think the best encounter. Let's just say regional foods.
Yeah, there's a food encounter there that is as nasty as anything you'll come across in any. I did the development pass on that one. It was like had to working while I'm eating my lunch, had to put that away. Like, nah, man. Well, I'm super excited about it, and I'm super excited to have you amongst the XCrawl authors. It's like, and I don't know, it's cool. Like this kind of collaboration that I'm able to do with people. It's such a marvelous part of the process. And I love seeing what people do with XCrawl. I love seeing how people, the weird, places people take it. And this one is no exception. So I'm really excited about that. And I can't wait for everyone to see it. And if you're, for everyone watching this, I'm so grateful to everyone who's come out and supported the Kickstarter. I can't tell you how much it means to me. And, like how it's how well it's doing and everything. It's just like, it's absolutely unbelievable to me. So my heartfelt thanks out to everybody, to everybody who, everybody who came out for it and who's supporting. Y'all have my absolute love and gratitude. I'm super happy about all that. Thank you. And it's I don't know, it's exciting. It's just an exciting time. So the okay, so we're gonna do a couple different things here tonight, but one of them we're going to talk about. If you have any questions for it, we've got plenty of time for taking questions from the audience. But we got someone needs more stretch goals. We want to go ahead and just launch right into that and start doing this. All right, so that's what we're doing tonight. We are here to announce the new stretch goals. and to talk about what is going to be coming up. So let me pull this up here, Joe. No. Here, Julian, say something entertaining while I'm trying to find the page so I can watch it while we're doing it.
Something entertaining, something entertaining. I'm actually like a doorknob. I totally don't know I was not logged into Twitch, so I was like trying to respond to people in the window, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not logged in. Oh, I gotta retrieve my freaking thing because I wanted to say hi to Tara Astra and Jeff and all the cool kids out here.
Cool.
And then it's like, yeah, and then fail as usual. My whole life is just kind of one long fail, but you know.
My
anyway.
God, no, it is absolutely not. Ezra Dahl says, "I like the hidden 180K stretch goal when you're at almost 200,000." Well, you know, what happened was it went over our most aggressive estimates, and we had to play catch up, and then we had to get art for playing catch up. But we're here today. Today is that announcement. So what we're going to do for some of these future stretch goals is we are going to take some of the adventures, some of the encounters from the earlier XCrawl adventures and update them for the Dungeon Crawl Classics rule set, and make them make them available to everybody. So we're already going to have one book of encounters called Dooms to Go, and we're going to actually have many more XCrawl encounters that you'll be able to string together and make it a solid adventure based on some of the old ones from Pathfinder and from the Pathfinder days and from the 3.5 days. So I've got a question here. General question about the XCrawl setting. What is the currency system using the NAE? I saw gold pieces in the equipment list, but what is the starting money for a first level PC? Is it the same as in the GCC core rule book? No. So if they use gold pieces. They call them eagles. So you would be like 500 eagles or whatever. But yes, they are absolutely using gold pieces. The starting equipment, your starting money is actually based, as I recall, on your beginning personality score. So you get more money starting off from personality. But typically, if you're playing from 0 level, you would have some starting equipment and then your first level winnings. If you're creating a first level character in the book, there's a chart for in there. I don't remember how much it is, but it's pretty good. It's like I want to say you start with like 400 gold pieces or so. Okay, so Foxy says, I think I'll be able to make the Empire 1 episode on the 26th. Got hung up on the wrong episode. Hey, Judge Niederman's here. What's going on, man? Anyway, Elena, let's go ahead and show some stuff and talk about the new stretch goal. So if we can put that graphic up, we'll go ahead and start getting into this. Is it up? Okay, so
nice.
So
nice.
These are Joseph gave me some of the basically some of his favorite encounters plus some of my favorite encounters that we are going to add to. So we're at the $180,000 stretch goal. Hey, look, we just hit it. Is Orchid Catapult. It is the first encounter from the Necromerica adventure. It is a favorite of people. It's a lot of have a lot of good memories of people doing it in there. But it's called here Orchid Catapult. But essentially, it is a two rival soda pop companies. One of whom, which is going to it's terrible. One of whom is going to show how tough they are, or how much better their version of soda pop is, by demonstrating it by having you the adventure is you have to go in this room and launch this orc in a catapult while his teammates try to make that not happen. So you're going to have to go ahead and do this. So we're going to update it for DCC rules, but we're also going to make it more of a strategic challenge. I started sketching ideas for it the other day, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be the a standalone room that you can add to one of your I'm reading the classics here. Judge Stiedemann says dance party, and then he says what he means is
yeah,
which I fully respect. So we've already passed that one. So part of the stretch goal things, we already have one encounter that is in the mix. So the next one is going to be the Velociraptor dance party. I love we have two dinosaur rooms back to back. I'm very fond of including dinosaurs and things. So this one, if anyone is out there, if you're a fan of the old classic video games like Dance Dance Revolution. This is that kind of a thing. Essentially, it will set the best dancer on your squad up against the best dancer on the monster squad. And while the two dancers are dancing there in the battlefield, the player team is going to have to go up against a bunch of velociraptors but not enough this. There's also with a lot of nasty twists to it. So you have to I'm wondering how much like it might I think I'm gonna get spoilerish here. Like how much should we be releasing about this? I guess it's okay to tell spoilers about this stuff because I guess we're all GMs here, right? So
yeah.
So when the player dancer every round the player dance, think of it like a game of Dance Revolution where they have to follow those steps. So here come your spoilers. So if you want to be a player, this is the time to tune in to talk radio or something else. But if the player succeeds and the monster succeeds, nothing happens. Battle goes on. Player fails and monster fails, nothing happens. Battle goes on. But if the player fails and the monster succeeds, a section of the floor opens up, which can drop you guys right down to the level below, where there is a mega raptor down there. It's also so you'll get dropped down there, and you may have to then be rescued. But also, the mega raptor is even if it doesn't actually drop anybody physically down into the floor below, it's the mega raptor is big enough where it can like access people on the top shelf there, and come at you and try to bite somebody in the head. I've had a lot of great. Actually, I'll tell a story about this room. Very early on in the Pathfinder days, I had a sorcerer charge out there, he got the initiative, and he literally charged into the battlefield and just got like toe to toe with my velociraptors, and just everyone was mad. This guy just got eaten alive in like round one. But I'm like, maybe sorcerer, maybe stay behind somebody big with armor and don't, someone with some hit points. It was one of the it was like he did that. I'm kind of looking at him like, you're charge right in there. He's like, yeah, he must have had a plan. It was not a good plan, Julian.
A plan is a plan.
I agree. And I have seen some amazing things get pulled out. I've seen people pull off some absolutely incredible stuff. Early days of XCrawl, I had somebody else charge a Nightcrawler. It was like, 100-foot long undead thing, ran up there and then immediately threw a mirror image and then just started like whittling it down. It was beautiful. Don Lafredo, one of the best players ever to play the game at XCrawl, just put paid to this thing. I can still see we were using minis. I can still see his miniature there, throwing his arms up against my giant, Nightcrawler. And it was magnificent. But this guy did the opposite of that. He ran out there. He was the only target I had, and all my velociraptors closed on him. And these are Pathfinder velociraptors, like claw, bite, talon rake. You know what I mean? Like it really, it didn't go well. So he got ate up pretty good there. So if one of the songs during the Raptor dance party isn't called "Clever Girl We Were Riot," the song I'll tell you what. The song in I should update it because no one's going to get my old references. But the song from the original, it's funny somebody mentioned that. The song from the original crawl was "People Who Died" by the Jim Carroll Band, a personal favorite of mine.
Wow.
Remember that? Remember Jim Carroll?
Yeah.
If you don't know Jim, some of the Clever Girl Riot is a great band name. That's true. But yeah, if you don't know that one, Brendan LaSalle, I'm officially giving you geek homework. I'll put it in the chat room. You guys need to go and listen to the Jim Carroll Band, "Two People Who Died."
Yeah, which there's a lot of in XCrawl.
Yeah, and it's a kind of a perfect song for this kind of thing too. It's got a good beat. It's my favorite juxtaposition of music, like the really bouncy, hard driving song with really depressing lyrics, And to me, it's one of the best. I was just on Critical Hit Parader. They had me on. I don't think it's hit the airwaves or whatever yet, but we were talking about favorite lyricists, and the host, I think his name's Dave, said Jim Carroll was. What was that?
Yeah, nothing. Nothing.
All right.
Keep moving. Nothing to see here.
So anyway, so we'll have to, I think we're gonna have to update that for DCC. And actually, you know what, I should probably like go and actually play some modern dance video games, because I haven't done one in a long time. It's been a minute. And now I'm old and I'll be really bad at it. I should watch some kids who know how to do these things do one of these dance video games. So all right, so we're going to keep on moving down the line. That would be the Velociraptor Dance Party is for 200,000, and we're right around the corner from that. I'm very excited about it. So the 220 level is the Methadone T-Rex versus Barbecue Children. All right, it's both worse and better than it sounds. So the what just happened? What that's about is, so you go into this room. The room has got a swing set and it's got fake children. These are children-shaped bags of barbecue chicken that are all kind of like set up there. They're on the swing set. They're on the teeter-totter. They're on the whole thing. So there's like 7 of them, right? And then they introduce this T-Rex. Now, this poor Tyrannosaurus Rex has been sorely misused by its handlers, and it has become very addicted to methadone, and which it has been receiving receiving in laced barbecue chicken. So it's basically been getting this barbecue chicken with this drug that now it's addicted to. At the time of the adventure, it has been withheld. When it comes out there and it smells the barbecue, it's both hungry and it's fiending. This T-Rex is absolutely fiending. So your job as the adventurer is to prevent this thing from getting to the barbecue chicken, which of course is in bags that are children shaped that are on the playground. And its job is to get past you and do that and kill anyone in its way who tries to stop it. So very fond of that room. That was the anyone know Aaron Rudel, Black Dirge? He used to do editing for us. You ever meet him?
No, I don't think so.
He's awesome. He's pretty much left gaming. I think he's a novelist. He's been writing full time now. And if you're watching this, Aaron, much love. Hope you're doing great. Oh, yeah. So I played that account and saved XCrawl. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah. So anyway, that was the encounter. He said that like really kind of like woke him up to the potential of XCrawl, and I kind of hope it really shows kind of the depravity, the commercial, the crash commercialism of it, and the creativity of the DJ for that encounter, who in the original one that was DJ Creature Feature. So what I'm hoping is if we get I want to point out here that if we get enough of these, maybe we'll string them all together and just write a XCrawl greatest hits dungeon with all of these cool rooms that we're going to put together for the stretch goals. So Foxy says, I used to weave bind the T-Rex mounted, then I summoned a dunce hat on him to humiliate him. That's harsh. Nice. Well done. Dang, with the dunce cap.
Very nice.
All right, so, yeah, I like that a lot.
Tactics.
Yeah, Berrigan Game says XCrawl Olympics. I know, right?
Ooh.
That's the one. Like, once we get this established, I really want them to let me to do the Emperor's Cup and do this would be like a box set, like a mega dungeon, high level one. The original Emperor's Cup is for it's the only epic level XCrawl adventure I've written. It's super high level. It's heinous, and actually a couple of the encounters from this actually came from that. So anyway, so I'm very excited about that. So that's it. So that will be for the 220,000 level is going to be the Methadone T-Rex versus Barbecue Children, which is just a sentence you don't get to say enough.
Yeah,
I think in this crazy old world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm pleased with that one.
Methadone T-Rex versus barbecue. Yeah, I mean it doesn't get old either.
No, it does not. I wrote that whole dungeon, the whole first level anyway, in the back of a car on our way back from Origins. I had like you just you go into these conventions and you get like that creative like rush. I get out of a convention, I cannot wait to get in front of a keyword, get in front of my notebook, and just get to work. I had my laptop with me, and I sat there in the back of Brett and Allison's car and wrote that. By the time I got home, I had the whole first level done. I was pretty excited about it. Or like a draft. It was and I hadn't play tested it yet. So then I play tested a bunch of times and made a ton of changes.
Plus, in the back of the car, you've had it's like 9 a.m. and you've already had like 3 Monster energy drinks and 2 bags of corn nuts or something, and you're just like,
yeah.
And then
I remember, the whole thing. You're still, that day after the convention. This, we're like, this would be Sunday. Like we would have broken the booth down. You know what I mean? And like gotten all that together, and then I'm just driving, and it's just like, the energy of the convention still just sort of like orbiting around my head, where I was like so thrilled by it. I still get that. I still like Sunday after the con, like, like you're exhausted, but you're also like, I can't stop thinking about new stuff and like wanting to write. There's something about the energy of being with so many new gamers at the time. And like, especially like when it comes to XCrawl challenges, this is sort of seeing like, you'll see something from one XCrawl adventure and then it just pumps in your head like, oh my gosh, that means we should do whatever it happens to be, So
I love it.
All right, so we are going to keep moving down the line and keep talking about our new XCrawl stretch goals. So I think we are ready for the next page, and I couldn't be more excited. Can we get that graphic, the next graphic, Miss Helena? Or Helena. And once again, thanks everybody for being a part of the Kickstarter. It's so awesome. I like I said, every time it's like, I find myself having to just be like, 1,200 people are going to have this game. You know what I mean? And like, be a part of it. That's thrilling to me. The idea that all of those folks will be out there and running their their new stuff. So if you guys don't know, Julian has this fantastic setting called Nowhere City Nights, which is a really exciting one. So it's like, I'm trying to say, so it's actually, can you give the elevator pitch for Nowhere City Nights?
The elevator, yeah, sure. The elevator pitch is like, it's kind of like if Vampire was about Call of Cthulhu. So it's like an action-oriented, urban, modern, 21st century horror game. And you can play either like a holy warrior, of law battling the forces of chaos, or a free agent who's like a thief, who is kind of mercenary enough for themselves, or a corrupted, chaotic wizard. And really, there's kind of the law team plus the free agents, or chaos team plus the free agents. So it's really kind of a different take as far as, maybe nowhere except Paul Anderson does alignment means so much, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But so I've we published a little funnel for that. I'll throw a link in the chat here too.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah, when I ran that one, I got so excited because I feel like the Gutter Knights, like just reading about their ethos, Nowhere City Nights, if you want to do a Gutter Knights campaign, it is the perfect venue if you've always wanted to tell a samurai story, right? To me, like the whole ethos of the Gutter Knights is really like about the samurai. Really, it's like, it's very, it fits in very, very well with the whole like just how sort of call it samurai culture. You know what I'm saying?
Like a ghost dog type story.
Yeah, exactly. I love that movie. I love it so much. And so anyway, I'm super excited about it. All right. I guess let's roll on and we'll just talk about what the new stretch goals are. All right. So we just said the $220,000 one is the Methadone T-Rex versus Barbecue Children, which that should that should be a King Gizzard album, like album title, So the one after that, I'm really excited about. This is actually one by my fellow. This is a room that appeared in the Las Vegas crawl. I'll tell a story first before I get to it. So I used to. Oh, there it goes. There. All right. So that's the last one. So the name of the next one, the basic name is the Roulette Mummy Spin Apart Room. Okay. Ooh. So yes. So back when I used to work at this in this warehouse, and my boss there was Dwayne Waldrop. And Dwayne is a fantastic gamer and like good design buddy. And to this day, he's one of my favorite people. Like if I'm having if I want to bounce an idea off somebody, I'll call Dwayne. His wife and my wife are cousins. I call him my brother-in-law and her my sister-in-law because they were raised together, so they're pretty much like brother and sister. So I'm trying to say. So anyway, so I was coming up on the deadline for the Vegas crawl, and I needed some time off. So I called him. I'm like, look, can I get a couple of days off this week? So basically it was like, I said I gotta get some time off because we had already collaborated on something. He and I wrote the Coney Island crawl together. That's me and Dwayne. And he said, I said, can I get some time off this week? Because I really have to finish a couple of things up. He said, no, but I'll write you a couple of rooms. Like, how many of your bosses have ever done that? You know what I mean? Like to jump in and pull that one off. So I've always, that's like, like way to be. So this is one of his rooms. It is the Mummy Spin Apart Room. So the essence of it is there is a giant roulette wheel in the middle of this, the room there, and like there are mummies coming from all directions. It's very complicated room. It's a showstopper kind of a room. But you can destroy the mummies, or if you're clever and for maximum points, you can hook the ends of one of their mummy wraps up to the roulette wheel and give it a spin and actually unravel these mummies in the middle of the dungeon. So you can just spin them down until they're just like, wow, like nothing but a bag of evil energy. So it's hilarious. It's such a funny thing. It's the kind of ridiculous thing that could only happen in an XCrawl adventure. It's almost like the real Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? It's like that ridiculous. Spencer Tracy and Kong.
And it actually brings out one of the things I really like about XCrawl, which is it's the ultimate funhouse adventure. It's crazy funhouse adventures, except nobody can complain that there's no reason to have a methadone dinosaur and well, I don't know, velociraptors, I guess would kind of go with that. But working a catapult over here and a methadone addicted dinosaur over there and a sphinx over there, because it does make sense. In XCrawl, everything makes sense. Whatever you put in there makes sense. So it's all, total funhouse and yet totally bound together at the same time.
Yeah. It all makes sense when you consider that the dungeon is not being created for the players. The dungeon is being created so that they can sell TV ads for airplane tickets and car insurance and pizza delivery or whatever it happens to be, So you got to keep people tuned in, which means you have to come up with challenges that are going to surpass the other guy who's doing his crawl in the next city over. So, you think of a bunch of suits sitting around like, well, we haven't done anything with roulette. Let's do something with that. And then sort of like working with a DJ to parse down and come up with this sort of like crazy stuff. So, if you think about it as a producer's medium, what I'm saying? Like your DJ, your dungeon judge is there with his friends going, what crazy thing can we put together? It works real well. I'm saying? It winds up being a real, like to me, it makes complete sense, even though it is absolutely ridiculous, So that one's a lot of fun. Again, it's a Dwayne Waldrop original from the old days, and I can't wait. It's like my little memorial to him and to him hooking me up. So I'm gonna make it even crazier. The DCC version should be just like, they're all ridiculous, but the DCC version is going to be just nuts, and I'm very excited about that. All right, so that's for $240,000. So if we go past that, if we go to $260,000, which is hard for me to credit. Like it's like in my, you know what I mean? Like do I dare to dream that this will hit that level, which would be amazing and just absolutely mind blowing. I would love to see it happen, obviously, because that's that many more players. And that's what I love thinking about this in terms of how many people will have access to the game, how many people will be. Yeah, it's like professional wrestling plus The Price is Right. Yes, plus NASCAR and ultimate fighting. Yes, all those things together. With a little capitalist dystopia thrown in. You know what I mean?
It's Vanna White with a rocket launcher taking on, the Rock with the machete, while while 6 orcs in a tank try to kill both of them or something.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so really excited about that one popping up, and I hope I can't wait for everyone to see it in action, because I said it really is just like the game is it goes to ridiculous places. It does a lot. There's a lot of things that I can do with the XCrawl setting, and one of the main ones is put together these ridiculous challenges that no one's ever seen before. So the last one is this is like an oldster special, one I'm really excited about, and that is for $260,000 we get that level, which again I will just be like losing it over that. That one is going to be the Sphinx You Bet Your Life game. Okay, so the I also want to give too much about this, but if you're a fan of like classic television, you'll know that there was Groucho Marx. Groucho Marx from the Marx Brothers had his own show for a while there. It was a ridiculous game show called You Bet Your Life, and it was really just kind of a showcase for him to get up there and make small talk and be funny and have a laugh with people. It was really, really, really hilarious. I'm a big Groucho Marx fan from childhood. The Marx Brothers were very commonly like their duck soup would be on TV like all the time, and it was just man. Like, you ever seen that one? So
yeah,
I can't recommend that one highly enough. So this is going to be a game show setting it's going to be this, like, so very often XCrawl comes off like a lethal game show. There's puzzles and things going on, but in this one the puzzle is actually the point and the monsters come afterwards. So the actually it's an opportunity for a so you think of your Sphinx, he's there, he's got his riddles and things there, so he's got questions for you in order to kind of challenge your mind. But in this case, with the threat of these hideous monsters that are there in the background, and a chance that, this is what I like about this one, especially if you do it wrong, if you say the magic word, you accidentally release all of the monsters at once, there's almost no chance that you'll beat them. So the what I'm saying, it's spectacularly lethal. So you really got to play this one smart and clever, and it really leans into the role-playing side of it. One of the things that XCrawl, it's not just fight monster, kill, find treasure. There's a weird current of role-playing that is woven throughout the setting, where it puts you in these sort of like bizarre situations that you just couldn't get to, like in a regular kind of a dungeon. Again, like where you might have gotten to know these XCrawl monsters over time. You know what I mean? Like you might be on a first name basis. You might see some of these monsters every week. You're professionals, you're professionals who are getting ready to go out there and duke it out. Now, professionals in the arena of mega violence with swords and spells and fangs and and gosh knows what all else, but professionals, So I'm kind of hoping that this room will really sort of be the flowering of a certain kind of a thing. This bizarre role play encounter that you can drop in the middle of a dungeon that will give the judge a chance to shine as this crazy monster, this crazy Sphinx, that will give the players a chance to kind of like, show off their real world intellect and to be clever, and possibly to let things out and create a melee, an unstoppable craziness melee that would just never happen in a regular dungeon. So that's it.
And you know what I see, Brendan, is if we funded all 5 of these encounters, you'd basically have kind of a mini adventure there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, probably fill a con because they're going to be intricate. There's going to be a lot going on. I bet that'd fill a con slot. You write a little opening, you write a little ending on there.
Yeah,
bang.
I would totally do that. That would be, I mean, oh my God, that would be so amazing. You know,
I think you run them in that order, even probably. I don't.
uh,
You could switch the first two around, maybe.
you know, I think I'd keep the first two. I think I would switch. I think I would move the T-Rex, make that the showpiece. I make that the last one. You know what I mean? Like that'd be the last. So yeah, I go Orchid Catapult, Velociraptor Dance Party, Spin Apart Room, Bet Your Life. Then you have a little rest. You know what I'm saying? Then you hit your break room, and then boom, T-Rex method.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I can see like doing it in such a way to like where I love the idea that like it could break out into the parking lot, like the T-Rex could drag one of these things out. Just, you know, he's nuts. He's completely like the poor poor creature in real life. You know, I take very few things as seriously as animal cruelty. There's nothing uglier than that. You know, I'm not a person. I'm not pro violence in real life at all. But the idea that this nutty thing where they make it out into the parking lot and that you're going to fight this thing while it's destroying, you know, somebody's Toyota. You know what I mean? You have to fight it out there. You know, it's gotten loose. It's throwing barbecue all over the place. In the background, you're looking at I-85. You know what I'm saying? You know, people are running, cameramen running in and then running away. You know, just mayhem, baby, mayhem. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love your ordering, and I hereby declare this will be the gateway crawl. Since we're talking about Cincinnati in the comments, this will be gateway crawl. You know, you just,
all right.
But you got to write your own intro and.
No, would you get with me on it? Like, cause I don't know Cincinnati. Like, I'll have to. I've been one time. I go to, what do you call it? Just by there. I go to
You get the spaghetti with the chili on it, right? I mean,
I have had Skyway chili. You know.
Yeah.
But I've only gone to a great show. It's in the suburbs of Cincinnati. I go to Con on the Cob sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Con on the Cob, baby. That's a nut job. I love that convention. So I need to make my plans now. So Multiple Menace says, thank you for this game, Brendan. My dopamine levels are peaked for this. Mine too. And thank you, Multiple. I appreciate that. Travis is awesome bonus dungeon. Yeah, if we get all 5. Brad McDevitt, what's going on? Brad, I think of XCrawl as D&D by way of NASCAR, by way of American Gladiators. I think that's very fair. Very, very fair. It also says, sounds like typical downtown college any Friday night. Yeah, it could be. And both of us. Okay, here's a good question. Who's your dream TV show host as DJ? So if you were going to put a host in there to be a DJ for a thing, who would you go with?
I'm going first. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. I mean, I never really thought about it before. Like, I mean, not just a DJ, but an actual TV host.
A TV host.
You know? You ever watch Talk Soup?
No.
All right. I was a big Bob Saget. Bob Saget would be a funny one, you know? Oh, you're right. Rarigan says that's near Cleveland, not Cincy. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Weird Al. Yeah, Weird Al did some talk show stuff. I might go with Aisha Tyler from Talk Soup. She's harsh and could be really big video game person, she's an actual gamer. Like, I love hearing her talk. She doesn't like tabletop, but she loves. She's a big. What was her one that she was really big into? Oh gosh, I can't think of it now. Skyrim, I believe, was her thing. You know. I love hearing her talk about that. So Multiple knows Skyrim. So if you know Aisha Tyler, I can see Aisha Tyler being my ultimate. I had to think about it. That's my first thought would be Aisha Tyler, because she's a gamer who's also a TV show host, who's also a bad A, just stone cold, hilarious. Like, will shut you down in a minute. She's so funny, you know. So that'd be one.
I would. I'm always unfair, so I had 2, because the first one that popped into my mind was Mayim Bialik, because
from Wheel of Fortune.
She can Jeopardy, right? She can do.
Yeah, you're right.
She could do Jeopardy, and she could do like neuroscience, and then she could do like some kind of Big Bang thing in there too. You know, like she could show up with like an Earth 2 superhero logo T-shirt thing. you know, and I kind of have a crush on her. So, you know, I would say
I get it. I get it.
I'd probably say, but then, okay, but so that was the first thing that popped in my head because I'm only a little obsessed. But then the next thing, as I kind of scrolled through the list, my second answer is 1981 Letterman.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, like stupid human trick style thing, you know?
Yeah, just like what? Got any gum? You know, like really the obnoxious, you know, like totally
Yeah.
crazy.
I love
Not the
Letterman.
not the subdued one 30 years
Yeah.
later, but you
Not
know.
not the thoughtful beard Letterman of the later days, but when he was still like still getting velcroed to walls and getting
Yeah.
dropped into the tank with all of the Alka-Seltzers. He had the
And
Alka-Seltzer suit.
super sarcastic, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
plus a whole Brendan, a whole encounter around top 10 list.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's good. Oh, there's actually in the original core book, there's a top 10 list that's totally based on Dave Letterman's thing. And it was a shirt. I think I'm the only one that still has one. It was one of the Panda Head shirts had the top 10, like the top 10 things you don't want to hear from your teammate in XCrawl. You know what I mean? And they were like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ooh, but I gotta say, there's a couple of really good ones out here I gotta talk to, okay, out here that are people mentioned. All right, Bob Saget and Weird Al, both of those would be hilarious. Like Bob Saget, I saw him do stand-up one time in Athens. He's like the filthiest comedian in the world. I can see him doing that. He'd be hilarious. Richard Dawson. I don't know why that didn't pop in my head first, but Richard Dawson from because he was in Running Man. He was in the Running Man movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
ooh, I love you. Oh boy, he's harsh. I can see that. LeVar Burton. If somebody pulled it out there. LeVar Burton it would be interesting because he is such a gentle soul, and to see him juxtaposed against the hideousness that is XCrawl, that might be really, really, really interesting. But then someone else had one, Super Dave Osborne. Dog. Yeah, man. Super Dave would be killer, dude. Because I mean, R.I.P. You know, gone too soon. But that was, you know, he had that kind of like dry, sardonic thing, and then he would just like he would get all like I could see him like talking up a room like you know for like half an hour, getting really excited about it. Then it starts and it's an instant kill. Like just whatever happens, people just you know get shut down. That would be hilarious. Hey, what's going on? And Max Headroom, Mean Gene Okerlund. That's
Mean Gene.
All right, so look, we got to be out here in just a minute, but I hope you guys enjoyed us talking about the new stretch goals and about XCrawl in general. Dude, Julian, thank you so much for showing up tonight and for hanging out with me on the TV. This is awesome.
Hey, it was always my pleasure, and it was very cool to see a bunch of old friends. Maybe, oh, I see Hector too. That's awesome. I see a bunch of
What's up,
old
Hector?
friends,
Max
new
Headroom.
friends.
Yeah.
Probably friends whose Twitcher names I don't even know and all kinds of stuff. So don't be a stranger. Find me anytime. It's great to see you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I have the hardest time keeping track of who's like what real person goes with what real handle. I should have like a cheat sheet, but it would be like 500 people long, and I was, you know. But what's up, Hector?
It's not official, but I'm starting the rumor that if we get $1 million, I'm gonna just fly around running XCrawl games for people. So for like 6 months. So
there you go.
You never know. Could happen.
$1 million. I mean,
this is not legally binding, but it could happen. It just could happen.
Yeah.
I'm just more like starting a rumor.
I'll tell Joseph if we hit $1 million, I will tell him. You know what I'll do? I'll have a bonus XCrawl room tattooed on my back. Right? Hear me out. I'll come and in the middle of dungeons, I'll like whip my shirt off and be like, "You're here, and this is what happens." And I'll do the whole thing like, you know what I'm saying? $1 million, I will get an XCrawl bonus room tattooed on my back, and it'll be so hideous. Like I don't even know. Like what would be a really gross room to have? You know what I mean? Like I don't even know. Like a actual Necronomicon room.
Yeah,
like, it's like all human flesh. You know what I mean? So like.
And keep in mind, you know, it's got to be preserved after you die. So, you know, it gets more morbid than that.
Yeah, it gets nastier. Eventually, it comes with a book that's actually made in my own skin. You know what I mean? It's like the ultimate stretch goal. So
ultimate stretch goal.
Right. All right. Well, listen, thanks everybody so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying this. And once again, a huge thanks to everyone for supporting the XCrawl Kickstarter from the bottom of my heart. I can't tell you how thrilled I have been, how gracious everyone's been, how cool. And thank you everyone for sharing this and for putting it out there and for all of your wonderful comments. I'm swamped with stuff. So if you're waiting on an email from me, I apologize because I got a million of them right now, but thank you for supporting this and for tuning in tonight, for hanging out with us, and for being my gaming buddies. Appreciate y'all.
Stick around for John's show. Yes, I see you, John. So don't go anywhere. Don't touch that bat channel. Don't touch that bat dial, and keep your bat eyes glued to the Twitch channel.
We're gonna be on Twitch all night. Hang out. I'm actually gonna be on Pizza Party later. So hang out with us all night, man. It's gonna be brilliant. So all right. Thank you all. And we love you. And we'll see you guys next time on Empire Sports. We're back in 1 week with more special guests that have ever been assembled together for an XCrawl anything. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I hope you will tune in a week from today on the same time. So we'll see you then. Elena, take us out.